This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
And this is now trending. I like that. I love stories like this. Taylor Swift has, quote, already written multiple love songs about Travis Kelce. And the source says, quote, they're very special.
And so personal.
I'm sure they know. She's already written multiple songs about him, and they're, what can I say? They're very special.
Very special.
It will be interesting to see how her writing style changes. It's different when you're writing about like an artist type versus writing songs about like this jock football player not known to be sort of
He's a meathead.
a meathead. I didn't want to say it, but thank you for doing it. How do you write, especially because she has those songs? She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts, she's cheer captain, and I'm on the bleachers. I mean, this is like a total rebuke of all that stuff. So
she'll find
maybe
a way.
they are very special.
She's going to find a way. They're going to be great songs.
I'm sure they will be.
She just has to visualize writing it, like turning him into her audience or demographic of being a 13-year-old girl.
Maybe that's what it is.
He might even dress up for her to get that in her mind while she's writing. Like,
yeah.
Who knows?
He's like, I thought that was a really good song you wrote. He seems like a just fine guy. There was a lot of videos on social media over the weekend of the panic that ensued at the Six Flags over Georgia. One person was shot, and that kind of led to multiple fights. It was the opening day of Six Flags, and cops responded, fighting all over the park. Women fighting other women, men fighting other men, kids fighting.
One of the reports I saw said 500 people fighting all over that park.
It was like the craziest scene I've ever seen.
Well, I did see, though, that they determined exactly why the people were fighting.
Really?
It was somebody, I'm not exactly whether it was an attorney or one of the officials, but it just said, quote, because it's Six Flags over Georgia. End quote.
That was the reason?
Yes.
There
was not exactly what you would call a knock me over with a feather moment whenever I saw the news.
Yeah, there is a 15-year-old who was critically injured in the shooting.
Terrible.
Yeah. But nobody seems to know really. I haven't seen exactly what caused it, what happened, or what the source of all of it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, videos were, and then people rushing out of there. I mean, it's the opening day of the park. It's supposed to be like a joyous, kind of fun time to kick off spring, and it obviously wasn't. A bunch of videos that you probably saw over the weekend, kind of an amazing scene as the United States carried out its first humanitarian aid drop-off in Gaza. These parachutes just falling from the sky and into the water right on the beach with, I think it was 45,000 prepackaged meals, and people just running out into the water to collect these big pallets that are attached to parachutes. I mean, I don't remember seeing anything like that in my lifetime.
Yeah, they always do that.
They've done that before.
Yeah, they always do that. And the thing is that I'm wondering how they got it to where, because Israel has been doing this kind of thing from the moment that they got attacked. They've been trying to get humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza, who aren't Hamas. But Hamas has been taking it all.
Really?
Yeah, so they say, we need aid. Israel sends the aid, and they say, we need aid. They didn't send, whatever. They attacked us.
Yeah.
The propaganda game. So I don't know if there was a deal where they made it with the United States where Hamas said, okay, we'll let your stuff come through.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
A wild scene. So those are a few things that are now trending.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
All guests of the Ace and TJ show stay at the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. Beautiful rooms, incredible dining options. Book your room by calling 980-299-7123. It's the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first class cleaning with the Johnson Group.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Someone on this show is fighting an invisible battle. Alone. Sad and alone. I'm not talking about you, Ace. Don't worry.
I was like, what? Okay, what have I done now?
No, not you. This time it's not you.
Okay, good.
The person fighting an invisible battle that we need to get to the bottom of is Tech D Rob. And the way I know this is because I pulled up in the parking lot this morning and he's parked in a different parking spot. What is going on, Rob?
Oh, my battery been dying.
He's backed in.
He's backed in too.
Yeah.
What's going on?
My battery was dead this morning, so I had to jump it to get here. So I'm assuming I have to jump it to get out of here.
It's probably a reasonable assumption.
So I made that front part of the the hood area. I made it more accessible.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's okay. Well, then it was true. You are fighting invisible.
You're right. You're not.
You
you're
are
not wrong.
suffering in silence.
And I told him, I said, hey, remind me. I mean, I just live right down the street. I'll run get my jumper cables when we get a chance. He was like, no, I brought mine. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
I said, okay, so I'll just pull around. We'll jump you and you can get going if you want.
I'll jump you. All right.
I thought maybe that he backed in because he moved parking spots to be parked next to me.
Yeah.
And he backed in because he can't get in his car if I'm parked beside him because it's too tight of a squeeze.
It's a tight fit.
Yeah.
I thought about that. That was the first. I said, well, something's clearly going on with Rob. But then the second thought was, oh, he's parked right next to TJ, and TJ's not going to like that.
No, I don't mind. He has the problem getting because those spots are small and I have a big truck.
Yeah, he's told me before didn't mind if I parked beside him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's even when
Of
TJ
course.
parked. But when TJ parked, he's not parked over the line or anything. He's parked between the lines.
Yeah, it's just wide. A lot.
Yeah,
But not
move
on
it
the
up.
first try.
Oh, no, the first try.
So what's going on? Has your battery been dying a lot lately?
No, this it happened like a week ago, and I thought it was good because it's been going just fine since then.
Yeah.
But here we are again.
Oh, that means that battery's on its last leg.
Yeah, so I know for sure that battery is not going to last much longer.
Do they still have alternators? New cars, do they still have alternators?
I think so, yeah.
Because that's probably what your problem is.
No, my alternator must be going strong because it's. I have a thing that says on the dash how many volts my battery is, and when I start the car, it's around 9 or 10, but when I get going, it's like 15. So
Okay. Well, that's good if it's not your alternator.
yeah, that's really what I hope anyway. So.
We got plenty of people here who can check your alternator. Don't you worry about that, buddy. There's a story out about an Uber driver and canceling an order on a customer, and it is incredibly awkward. I'll share the story next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities, and we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Attention Charlotte, treat yourself to a delicious meal that's made with fresh, seasonal ingredients and ready in just 20 minutes. Enjoy a fine dining experience without ever leaving your home. Head over to tableandtwine.com.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
There's a crazy story out today, and I want to get your opinion on it. A woman needed to get a Plan B. If you know what Plan B, it's a contraceptive that you can go to the drugstore and pick up.
So the morning after pill.
The morning after pill. That's probably the more common way to say it. She didn't feel like going out, so she ordered one through Uber Eats, and they went to CVS. The order was accepted, and the driver sends her a message and says, cannot accept and deliver, knowing that this what it will do. I hope you reconsider. And she said, this is like my worst fear realized. She felt embarrassed or whatever. But should the Uber Eats driver not just decline the order or find a way to not deliver it without the message over text message?
Well,
I mean, is that the...
I would think just decline it and say, I'm not participating in this.
Yeah.
But when you look at witnessing to people and all that, if he's looking at it from, or she is looking at it from a religious aspect, then he or she would feel,
compelled?
the necessity to go ahead and say, I need to witness to this person.
What does he need to? What is he witnessing?
Well, it's some people believe that is an abortion, the morning after pill. From what I understand, what it does is keeps the egg from being fertilized. So it doesn't kill the egg after fertilization.
Okay.
It prevents it from being fertilized, like a birth control pill would. So some people look at that still as an abortion, and then some don't. So that's probably why the Uber driver was getting in it.
That's a crazy thing.
Yeah, I think you're better off in that case, though. Just, even if you want to say, hey, I declined, this is something I don't feel comfortable participating in. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
It seemed,
Yeah.
she said it seemed a little preachy. Uber preach, as somebody said they ordered from. But she said it was like an fear realized, fully realized. So what's an unreasonable fear that you have? A lot of people think about their car sinking in a river, even though they don't live anywhere around bodies of water. I know people like this.
Yeah.
Maybe your ex moved out 3 years ago and you're constantly checking for cameras that you think they might have planted around your home. It's unreasonable.
Yeah.
Your husband's not exactly a handyman, so it would have been impossible for him to do. What is it? Ace and TJ's unreasonable fears that you experience all the time. At the Ace TJ Show. We'll get your answers next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting, there's no appraisal. I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ Show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
The Ace and TJ Show is brought to you by our friend Richard Toccato. He's a mortgage expert. Get a home equity line. One short phone call. That's all it takes with Richard.
Yeah.
Homewithrichard.com. Whether you're buying a house, looking to refinance, he can do all that stuff.
Equity, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Homewithrichard.com. So we're talking about your unreasonable fears. A woman said her biggest fear was fully realized when her Uber Eats driver decided not to deliver her morning after pill, instead told her to reconsider. She said it was her worst fear realized. What is your unreasonable fear? Probably never going to happen, but you think about it a lot. Jessica's got a great one. I'm hoping to be engaged soon, and I keep having these nightmares that he pops the question with the gaudiest, most horrible engagement ring ever. I've had this dream so many times, I find it haunting me during the day. God. I always say yes in the dream, even with that awful ring. That is crazy.
Yeah, but it's an unreasonable fear. That's a great example.
It's a perfect example.
what if the fear is proven to be true? Like, what if he does present her with an awful ring?
Well, she
The
says in the
gaudiest,
dream, she
most-
says yes anyway.
Yeah, but should she?
I mean,
You know, if the ring is that much more important than the man, but it's causing you all of these nightmares before it's even happened. To me, that would be worse than if she said, "I got this unreasonable fear that he's never going to propose." She's not worried about that. She's worried about him proposing with a bad ring.
but what do you do if he proposes with a ring that you're like, oh my God, I've got to wear this ring the rest of my life and I don't like it?
Yeah.
I don't
Say
know.
no if it's that big a deal.
Yeah,
Well-
you can
Say
do that.
no.
Yeah, you can always say no.
If the ring is bad enough for you to say no, then it'd be better for everybody.
Has that ever happened? That the ring was so bad that she said no, even though everything was
yeah.
fine?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure, yeah.
Well,
We've
we-
talked to him before.
Yeah, we've talked to people that have returned the ring or said no because they didn't like the ring.
What,
turned it down.
what was the complaint about the ring?
Not big enough,
Yeah.
or not anything that she told him she wanted. Like she told him all of the things that she likes in a ring, and he got it, and it wasn't any of those things.
So far off what she
yeah,
wanted.
even if it's more expensive, it wasn't what she wanted. So he didn't pay attention to her enough.
I get that.
You know, all little things like that.
Ace, what do you have one?
I have a fear of dropping my phone or my keys
Oh, yeah.
through the grate.
Yeah.
There's a what do you call that? The drainage
The
drain?
drain, yeah.
There's a drain out in front of my townhouse.
Yeah.
When I park on the street. And if I have to walk past that, I will like if I'm walking past it holding my phone or my keys in my hand, I will either stop before that and put them in my pocket or hold them out to the side as I walk past. So in case if I tripped and dropped my phone, it would fall into the grass or into the street, but not into the grate. I don't know why I have developed this fear over the years. I have a distinct fear of dropping my keys or phone through the grate.
It's not unreasonable. You might actually do that.
I think my reactions are a little more unreasonable than that. I'm walking, I look like an idiot just walking past it, holding them out, I'm just extending my arm for half a second while I step over this thing.
That's exactly right.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. All right. Coming up, we're going to do all the things you need to know coming up in Now Trending.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime, thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenics.
Bradham Brothers offers heating, air, and electrical installation and service that you can trust. Their family business has served thousands of customers with honesty and a smile for over 50 years. Go to bradhambrothers.com to schedule service or a free estimate today.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
AEW Revolution is the top trending topic. I'm sure Ace knows about that.
Sting's last match was last night. Greensboro. They drew like 16,000 for that thing. Good for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Steve.
Were they the other members of the police there to cheer him on?
I don't know. They should have been.
Does anybody care about the other members of the police other than Sting?
Not really.
I don't even know.
It's just really Sting.
No, not at all.
Who else is
Stuart Copeland's one of the greatest drummers that's ever lived. And world renowned as a phenomenal drummer.
Yeah, Stuart Copeland, Riggins. Come on, get with it.
I know,
The guitar player, Andy, I forgot his last name, is really pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, but you even forgot his last name.
I don't remember him. He's not world renowned as much as Stuart Copeland and Sting.
Yeah.
Okay. Made the mistake of asking that question.
Well, you brought it up.
Check me real quick. Yeah. Rihanna's getting blasted for her performance at a wedding in India. She got paid $6 million to do this private wedding, which I think it's a great gig. You show up, they pay for your travel, pay for your hotel. You're probably staying in a very nice place.
Production.
And then you get paid $6 million to perform. I think they said 17 songs.
90 minutes.
Easy. That's a $6 million check. I don't know why we don't see more, but we know Beyonce did it. I think she was in Saudi Arabia when she did hers.
Well, there are a lot of them being done. Not as many of them get talked about.
kind of on
They
the
do a
low-key.
lot of those things for like scaled down $1 million for a half-hour performance or something like that. That's big business for big artists these days.
Cut the check.
Yeah.
Leave your morals at the door. Absolutely. Caitlin Clark is trending this morning. She's the superstar player from Iowa. She now holds the record as the leading scorer in Division I college basketball, beating out Pistol Pete from LSU.
But remember, when Pistol Pete did it, he didn't get to play.
Here we go.
I'm just saying.
You hate women.
Pete Maravich played at LSU. One of my favorite basketball players of all time. He didn't get to play as a freshman because freshmen weren't allowed to play. And they didn't have a three-point shot when he played.
Good Lord.
So Caitlin Clark is draining threes. I'm not knocking her. She's phenomenal. She deserves all the accolades.
She's the greatest women's basketball player of all time, hands down, no discussion. No argument. Hands down.
The three makes a big difference.
But yeah, Pistol Pete and Caitlin Clark. Awesome. Way to go.
Good for them.
Pistol.
Good for you. And those are a few things that are now trending.
So a couple of updates. Number one, what's happening with the first quarter of the rest of your life? Like, we had about 900 entries in this thing. Honestly, it's been a little overwhelming going through them all. We have narrowed them down to the final four. We'll give you some details on that. And a story that went around the world the other day has an update. Things aren't always as they seem. This is, thankfully, a happy ending that you didn't see coming. Next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin. Should you buy? Should you sell? How do I present my house if I do want to sell it? All of those questions can be answered by the experts, and they can take care of you with the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. The Temple team knows everything there is to know about selling, marketing, and buying houses. So get in touch with them today at acetj.com/Temple team. The Temple team at Keller Williams Realty.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So Peyton's Promise is our charity built strictly to enhance the lives of others in a variety of different ways. One of those ways we're doing right now. It's a contest called The First Quarter of the Rest of Your Life. And our goal is to give someone $10,000 that will change their life and the lives of others. Well, we started this in January, and we're probably about half a week behind of where we'd like to be, just because there were so many entries. Like the other day, I kind of ballparked it. I think it was like we each had about 300 entries or so to go through. It was a lot of them. And it can honestly, you have to kind of take a break from going through them from time to time, because there are a lot of people that are in need of assistance right now. And sadly, we can't help everybody. We're looking for one person to be able to help. Well, here's what we've done. Here's where we are with the first quarter of the rest of your life, because so many people have applied and are asking about it. We have narrowed it down to the final four. Our plan is this week, you will meet the final four. Hear them tell their story on the Ace and TJ show. And 1 week from today, we will announce who is the winner of the first quarter of the rest of your life, who will win the $10,000 from our charity, Peyton'sPromise.org. So if you applied, just know we've narrowed it down to four. We're contacting them today. 1 week from today, we will have the winner of the first quarter of the rest of your life. Okay? Now, was it Thursday or Friday of last week? TJ told us about a radio show in Australia that had somebody propose on Leap Day. The woman proposed to the guy.
Friday, I think.
It was Friday, okay, which is an old Irish tradition. And things got very uncomfortable because he said no. Well, there is more to this story. All right, so here's what happened on the show.
Every morning I wake up as the luckiest girl alive. You make me feel like nothing I've ever felt before. Will you marry me?
You're joking. I'm not trying to like put you on the spot, babe. But like I'm just pretty.
Other way around.
I just don't know if this is the sort of thing I'd do on air. You know what I mean? Like it's like a big deal.
All right. That's all the story that we had. Turns out there is more to that story, because the very next day, I guess, which was Friday, their Friday, which we were already done by then, they came back to update the rest of that story.
And he had booked us dinner at this really, really fancy place in Melbourne, and he actually proposed.
I was already planning to propose. I was already bought a ring. Kind of threw off my plans. So I was just a little bit shocked.
So luckily, apparently he had already planned to propose. If you want to believe any of that story.
Yeah. And did he automatically say to send the free flowers to another woman,
right,
and got her upset?
Up to you if you want to believe the entire story.
See, the other day,
that's the update.
I thought it could have been real, but now I'm thinking it's one of those stage radio skits, that all those people do about it.
See, I kind of thought it was more staged the first time we heard it than it is now.
Australia.
Australia. Up to you if you choose to believe. There is something really sweet that's going around. That's just it'll make your entire day. And it's a great idea if you have little kids. And we're going to play a little game called Who's in the Right? And it all happens at a Jimmy John's. Next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
All right, if you've got little kids, here's a great idea. This grandmother is going viral because she left a pretty amazing gift to her granddaughter. It's 20 years worth of saved voicemails of her granddaughter. She has saved them all for 20 years. It starts with her granddaughter at the age of 3, and the last one is when she leaves her a voicemail at the age of 17 telling her, or I guess it's not quite 20 years, telling her that she just got her first job working at the Subway.
Oh.
It's pretty cool. Check this out. It's pretty awesome.
It's me, Grandma. I just got a new scooter, and it's pretty. I love it. Grandma, I thought maybe you could come over and watch G-Force with me. You can come over if you want, okay? Hi, Grandma. It's me, Taylor. I just wanted to say goodnight. I love you, and I miss you.
Well, I got the job. I got the job on the spot. I'm just really happy.
It's the little thing.
It turns out to be 20 years worth of saved voicemails. I will, just a parent tip. I have on my phone the first, I don't know if they're the first two, but they're two of the first voicemails my kids ever left me. And I've saved them. Gosh, Peyton was, I think, 5 or 6 at the time. And Cade was barely speaking because she talks first and then he says something into the phone. It's the greatest thing ever. Sometimes I'll just ride down the road and pull them up and listen to them real quick. It's awesome. And there's a thing that's going viral. Who's in the right? Guy orders a sandwich at Jimmy John's. They made it for him. Then he finds out they can't accept cash that day because of some issue with the register. He doesn't have any of his cards with him. Here's what transpired.
You don't accept cash, and you made my sandwich, and you're just going to throw it away. Can I just have my sandwich?
No, I'm not going to risk my job for you.
Because you don't accept money?
No, because you can't pay.
Oh, this is going to be funny for your manager.
You can go ahead and leave. Talk to my manager if you want. They're not going to do a damn thing for you.
Hey, you ever heard of anything like this? I mean, yeah, when it's the system's down and everything, it's like, yeah, it's just policy.
What do you want?
My God, you people are ridiculous. Are you real?
It's just circumstances. What do you want me to do?
So he has money. They can't accept his money because their system is down. So he says, well, then just go ahead and give me the sandwich. And the guy says, I'm not going to give you the sandwich because you have no way to pay. Who's in the right? Because the guy's mad they won't give him the sandwich.
Yeah, and he's also filming
He's also filming.
And he sounds like he's just high as a satellite.
And it goes on for like 20 minutes. It's like,
I can see the whole thing. I'm just seeing the
dragging other customers into. You believe this guy?
Yeah, and that guy was like, "Yeah, well, their system's down."
Yeah.
What are you going to do, man?
Yeah, it's part of life for stores systems to go down. You're not owed a free sandwich because of that.
Exactly. You don't
to like
get
a
the
16-year-old kid
Yeah.
that's like working at the sandwich shop. You're gonna try to embarrass him on the internet. Get a grip, dude. Get a grip. Isn't
Yeah,
I
he
find
should
that
be banned.
I find that behavior.
It's the filming
gross.
of everything. Like I'm going to film this kid
right at the counter.
So there's something coming up next that don't blame us. Well, you probably can't. You will blame us. But just don't be too angry if later in the day you can't get these songs out of your head. Next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help. Because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
As a proven leader in managed IT services, CompuCom delivers innovative solutions designed for how you work today. They'll help you deliver results no matter where you are on your digital transformation journey. It's all at CompuCom. Go to CompuCom.com to find out more.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Wait, one of the fun things about doing this show is that, okay, sometimes plans have to change midstream. I just ran across something I forgot that I wanted to share with y'all today because it's wild. Just wild. An Oklahoma school district is in trouble after video emerged of students. Well, they're having a fundraiser. Here's a student and a parent talking about what they witnessed. Their voices are kind of distorted to keep their identity a bit of a secret here.
It was surprising. I didn't think they were going to do all that. I had to ask her, like, wait, what? They're licking peanut butter off of toes. What? I am all for fundraising and all for really fun and silly things, but that right there just seemed a little excessive.
That's right. At an Oklahoma school district, in these schools, they were licking peanut butter off each other's toes and feet for a fundraiser. Now, I don't know the details of how that works.
Yeah, it was students licking it off of teachers, right?
No, it's other students. I think.
Oh, was it? I thought it was the adults.
I thought they
involved.
said that. Oh, it maybe they said no teachers or staff were involved, but that might mean just adults that were there. They said they were all volunteers. It's like as if that made it better. They volunteered.
Everybody volunteered. It was cool.
We raised a ton of money. I saw the superintendent was there, but he's like, "This is disgusting. We're going to do something."
Yeah, nobody ever thought, hang on a second, this looks bad, man. This looks real bad.
Got little kids doing that. What's going on?
Would you be freaked out to know that I've done something similar?
No.
Many years ago on the radio, when TJ and I were in Huntsville, I lost a bet over the LSU-Alabama football game and had to lick peanut butter off this guy's toes I think we did it in
two people.
Two people? Did we do it in a parking lot?
Yeah, one was a woman who tried to make it easier for you. She just had a pedicure, and she came in flip-flops right out of the shower and all of that. The other guy drove up in his work boots. He'd been working already that morning out on the road or something.
It's not fun. It is not fun at all. It is very gross. But I didn't see. Does anybody know how much money they raised?
Like $140,000. It was a lot of money.
All from licking peanut butter off a kid's toes?
I think that was part of it. Yeah, I don't know.
It was raising money for a coffee shop.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like a coffee shop going out of business or something. I'm not sure.
Yikes.
Good call. So, it was just too good to pass up. I know we just had to change midstream there because that's amazing. But even the superintendent, though, was like, okay, clearly I didn't know this was going on.
Yeah. You don't expect that in Oklahoma for some reason. I was like, Oklahoma? I don't know. You picture that in Portland or somewhere like where they don't understand why that's weird.
So, Riggins, what's coming up in Now Trending?
So many things. Everything you need to know that you can take with you throughout the day coming up in Now Trending.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting, there's no appraisal. You know, I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com. It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime, thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenics.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
You can learn a lot listening to the Ace and TJ Show. It's well known, but I give TJ full credit with introducing the world to Honeycrisp apples.
Yeah.
So much so that I told my parents about them. They started buying them, and now all their neighbors buy them. It's now a thing in their retirement community. Like the only apples they buy there are Honeycrisp apples.
And they've started the trend because you told them what TJ said?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And there's like 5,000 homes. I mean, it's a small city. And it's like well known. You only buy Honeycrisp apples. I think, well, that's TJ. But they're finally getting cheaper. That's the news I wanted to share with you. Honeycrisp apples are trending this morning. Prices of what they're calling designer apple are finally falling, at least for now. So you might be able to get your hands on a few cheaper apples.
I like helping the old people.
Absolutely, and they love you for it. Sleeping with the enemy, perhaps. Jamie Lynn Spears out in Las Vegas on Saturday night attending Christina Aguilera's residency. Britney Spears' little sister now supporting Christina. Now, it shouldn't be surprising.
Do Christina and Britney not like each other?
Well, sure. I mean, going back to their days is...
Oh, since Mickey Mouse Club?
I think it started not long after that.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, they always had the rivalry that was maybe made up, maybe not. But they used to put them on the podium together at award shows, dressed alike, and they'd be catty to each other. And even recently, a reporter asked Christina Aguilera, what do you think about Britney and what she's going through? And her PR person jumped in quick and was like, no, don't answer that. Don't. I mean, so it's still going on. And they're like, I don't know, in their 40s now?
40s, yeah.
So Jamie Lynn Spears going to support Christina Aguilera was seen as sort of turning her back on her sister. However, Britney Spears has not shied away from slamming Jamie Lynn all over social media. That's like your own family. And she just trashes her on Instagram all the time. So I think it's to be expected is what I'm going to say. 2 teenagers broke into the LA Clippers' new arena. It's like this $1 billion complex last week. They posted the videos on TikTok. People were reacting to it over the weekend. They were hopping over walls, shooting baskets. They even deployed a fire extinguisher at one point, and this thing is undone. It's not a finished complex yet, so it looks like they climbed onto the roof and then made their way in that way. But they're just doing some trespassing and being hooligans. And people enjoyed seeing the videos on TikTok, but obviously it is criminal trespassing.
I like the way you phrase it. They're just doing some trespassing. That's all.
I mean, who hasn't trespassed a little bit? But don't go and make a mess of things. You get in, you get out. You don't. You try not to make a sound.
Yeah.
They're the first people to play a basketball game in that arena, though.
I think so. I think so. It's pretty impressive. So they're expected to open the arena for the 24-25 NBA season. And those are a few things that are now trending.
All right, there are some things that people do that are considered rude, and you may not even know it. In other words, they're microaggressions. Ooh, microaggressions. We'll go through these and figure out if they're right or wrong. Coming up next.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help. Because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Hey, don't miss a new edition of TJ and Jody's House podcast. It will be available today shortly, probably by noon today Eastern. There is a list of things from the BuzzFeed and Reddit. So I always like reading these things because it gives you an idea of where young people's minds are trending. You know, what direction they're going in. And most of this is pretty promising to me. It's common things people do that they don't realize is actually rude. Okay? So number one, listening to anything in public with the volume turned up. That is absolutely right. That is rude.
Agreed.
Rude. And I like that these young people on Reddit are discovering that. Parking a shopping cart in the middle of the aisle, even temporarily, so that others can't pass. That's rude. Correct. Stepping off a busy escalator and then stopping to look around, blocking everybody else coming off the escalator. That is rude. You're right. Good. If someone declines alcohol or drugs, insisting that they partake, looking disappointed, or asking them why they're not drinking or smoking, that's considered rude.
I like that one.
Okay. All right, I give you that. But all you got to do is just keep saying no, and if they bug you too much, it's a sign that you should just get away from them and not come back because they're annoying. Letting your dog jump on someone else. Exactly. That is so rude. So rude. But it just seems like 2 years ago, anybody on Reddit that would have said that would be attacked.
Yeah, you've got to be responsible for your dog.
Now, here's one that I don't agree with. Asking a newly married couple if they plan to have kids, or any type of couple, really. Asking a couple if and when they are planning to get married. I don't think that's rude.
I don't think that's bad.
I think you're being too touchy. Looking at your phone while someone talks to you. Okay, I could see that being rude. Commenting on weight or physique in any way, even if it's meant as a compliment. No, that's not always rude in any way.
Why would it be rude to compliment somebody?
It's not. We're the final voice on this day, so yeah, it's not. Giving unsolicited parenting advice, even indirectly, through your social media posts. If you don't like it, don't read it. Yeah. And saying no offense is usually followed by something that you say that is offensive. That's true. I've been saying that for years. Yeah. So that is it. That is the official ruling. If we said it's rude, it's rude. If we said it's not, it's not. Live with that. BuzzFeed that. You got it.
Live on your radio and anytime you want us, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting, there's no appraisal. I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Today is National Grammar Day. It's a grammar day. Now, it is a known fact in our society today that one of the absolute rudest, worst things you can do to somebody is to correct their grammar. Now, I get it with adults. Like, you wouldn't want to be in front of a bunch of other people and correct an adult's grammar when they say something incorrectly. Well, how is it with teachers now and kids? Because I know so many teachers are lenient with the way kids speak now because, the social media and all of that, and they don't really enforce strict grammar rules in their writings and things like that. Is it rude for a teacher to correct a kid? It's not rude, but is it now considered rude for a teacher to correct a kid's grammar in class?
I don't know. I would.
Are we so soft now that and so dumbed down as a society that it has to be to where the teacher can't even correct your grammar publicly?
It's possible. I'm agree with you on this point, TJ. There's no way. That's the teacher's job. That's what they're supposed to do. So it's not rude. That's what they're doing, helping you prepare for a future. But I have seen those things now where they say you don't understand where someone's background or their family history or something like that. Yeah. That's just the way they speak, and you just have to accept that, apparently.
Well, what if they said, okay, in class, my new pronouns is, they would be thrilled to hear that the kid has new pronouns, but would they also be, I think you mean my new pronouns are.
Yeah.
Or are they just so elated by the first part of it, they just, let that pass.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not even going to mark off points for the wrong subject verb agreement. I bet they think it's rude. Maybe. Ain't was a big thing when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say it.
No,
nope.
Never. And they'd say, I ain't got no. What? You ain't got no. Try that again. Stuff like that. But I bet they don't do it now. I bet teachers don't do anything to shame the kids anymore. And that is not right. Now, sometimes that's the best way you can learn is through shame.
By a teacher, sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I was just giving you the facts.
Teacher shame is a real thing.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help. Because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin. Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting, there's no appraisal. I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Well, a lot of stuff going on with the Ace and TJ network, the Ace and TJ family. Today is a new episode of TJ and Jody's house, and just to give you a little preview, we rehash and retell the details of a quarrel we had over the weekend. Jody and I quarreled.
A weekend quarrel?
Yeah, Friday night quarrel. So that'll be on before noon today in the Eastern. And well, I'm hoping, because Rob said first thing this morning, hey, can you bring me that disc with this stuff? I got to have time to get that going. Like, he's just like Mr. Business today.
It's
it
already uploaded.
It must take a long time, to get those things done.
So high quality, it takes forever.
Yeah.
No need to be a smart aleck about it, Rob.
Right. I wasn't being sarcasm at all. But today on TJ's podcast, not to be confused with TJ and Jody's house, we're going to talk about the latest, hard-hitting information in the world of crime, which is the Heaven's Gate cult.
From 1996? Or
whatever 90-something that was. So we're going to get into a big thing about that, and we're going to talk about something called a meat shower. If you ever had a meat shower, then then it's the latest thing. But
the mind reels at the possibilities of that. That's like, okay.
Sometimes though, I just kind of get lost in conversation in that TJ's podcast. And it's about as far off of what, as a radio expert that I should be doing. Because Ace and I are radio experts. Everybody is called an expert in all these fields and everything today. But we are legitimately radio experts. And podcasts are different than radio stuff. So I sometimes just kind of drift off into one aspect of whatever it is we're talking about and kind of get lost. But then Rob, since he's so used to doing those, those escape rooms and all that, right? He helps me out.
Snaps you right back to reality.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that there's never been a better salesman for something in your life than right now. I'm saying, listen to that podcast every day. So much fun.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime. Thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenics.